This morning, the Sylacauga City Council, in a call meeting yesterday, rescinded a contract to buy around 210 acres on US 280 for a sports complex.
Action necessary to approve resolution authorizing withdrawal of the offer to purchase the approximate 210 acres of property located on Highway 280, commonly referred to as the Gaston Vivint property, per the land agreement dated March 18, 2015, and as amended on July 9, 2015, and to request the return of the earnest money. So is that what, are you introducing that, Joe?
I will introduce.
All right, so that is introduced by Councilman Hogan. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 37-2015?
I'll move.
Motion made by Councilman Darby.
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogan. All those in favor of approving resolution 37-2015? That is 4 yeas, 1 nay, Councilman Roberts being the nay.
Now, the contract was scheduled to expire this Monday, August 31st, but the council withdrew its offer to purchase it by a 4-1 vote, with Councilman Tom Roberts voting against the decision. The acreage is known as the Gaston Bivin property, and the sellers are Thomas D. Bivin Jr., Patricia L. Bivin, William P. Gaston, Robert M. Gaston, Larry J. Reams, and Ronald D. Lightsey. After voting to withdraw the contract to buy the property at a cost of more than $1.2 million, the council, in a 3-2 vote, accepted a proposal from CDG Engineers and Associates. The company will provide evaluation services for the property near the Mill Village, known as the Donald Comer Complex. The city owns additional property where the complex is located. The company is to determine the suitability as a site for the future sports complex, beginning with a Phase 1 preliminary evaluation at a cost of $12,500 and a Phase 2, if warranted, for a conceptual layout and cost estimate at a cost of $10,000. Now, several individuals spoke following the council's decision, including Pam Landers, a member of the Sylacauga Parks and Recreation Board. She said the board had studied the 280 property and thought it was the best site. She said she expressed her disappointment with the council's decision to rescind the contract to buy it. Quoting now, "Shame on y'all," she said. "We have not been able to speak prior to your decision, not allowed to say a word. I'm appalled at this wasted time." Continuing to quote Pam Landers, board member of the Parks and Recreation Board, "The property is suitable for a sports complex. You appointed the Parks and Recreation Board and told us to bring you the best site. We chose the 280 property. We wanted something that isn't in the Mill Village or Sycamore." She suggested the council increase the sales tax to pay for the project. Continuing to quote, "You don't have the backbone to be up there," she said. "I'm through. I'm done. I resigned from the Parks and Recreation Board. You don't appreciate us." In another matter, the council approved a resolution accepting an ALDOT Aeronautics Bureau grant for $23,519 as state matching funds for the purpose of airport development, consisting of rehabilitation of the terminal apron and construction of a hangar access taxiway, including site prep and taxiway paving. It authorized Mayor Doug Murphy to execute the grant agreement. Speaking of Mayor Murphy, he's scheduled to be with us at the top of the next hour here on Daybreak. In other local news, Bluebell Creamery has unveiled another ice cream flavor, slated for the brand's return on Monday, and promised more to follow. The Texas-based company has announced a flavor each day as it gears up for the August 31 relaunch. This one will look familiar based on those already announced this week. In an Instagram post, Bluebell said, "The Great Divide, a combination of homemade vanilla and Dutch chocolate in one carton, will be available." Bluebell announced the return of its vanilla and chocolate brands on Monday and Tuesday this week. Cookies and cream is the other flavor announced on Wednesday. The choice wasn't universally lauded. On the Instagram post, for example, fans began lobbying for their own personal favorites. Bluebell has continued to use a social media strategy of making announcements of new developments as the company inches back from a months-long production shutdown following a listeria outbreak. The strategy is one of the reasons some analysts expect the company to bounce back strongly after spending months off the shelf. And the company's Sylacauga plant is currently the only Bluebell plant operating, as plants in Texas and Oklahoma continue cleaning and training programs. They have been closed since production shut down in April. Sylacauga resumed production in July after consultation and an agreement with state health officials. So Bluebell product hitting the shelves on Monday, August 31st. Another flavor announced yesterday, the Great Divide. In other area news, Talladega police have arrested a Cleveland, Tennessee man for identity theft and felony drug charges, according to Captain Leon Thomas. Charles Wayne Wiggins, age 35, was arrested this week after allegedly trying to get a loan at a check depot on East Battle Street. Bond was set at $5,000 on each count. Thomas said Wiggins appeared to be using Social Security numbers of recently deceased individuals. He is accused of doing the same thing using a different false identity in Tarrant, Alabama, according to Thomas. When he was arrested, officers found Lortabs, needles, syringes, cotton swabs, and a cap containing drug residue. Wiggins is accused of using someone else's identity to borrow $500 plus $87.50 in other fees and charges, Thomas said. He was attempting to borrow the same amount in Talladega when he was arrested. Identity theft and unlawful possession of a controlled substance are both Class C felonies in Alabama, punishable by 1 year and 1 day to 10 years in prison. The Talladega County Board of Education approved the fiscal year 2016 budget during its meeting Thursday. Dr. Suzanne Lacey, superintendent, said over half of the $80,036,136 budget will go to instruction, with more than 18% to instructional support. Lacey said the 10 mil match to participate in the foundation program will be $6,593,300, and the match to receive capital purchase funds will be $653,705. In other business yesterday, the board approved the resignations of Joanne Brooks, B.B. Comer Elementary Special Education and Clerical Instructional Assistant, effective October 1. Teresa Garrett, bus driver at Sycamore Elementary, effective August 31st. Karen Hayes, bus driver at Munford Elementary, effective October 31. Miranda Heath, RN at Genesis Alternative Educational Center, effective September 4. And Barbara Hush, bus driver at Genesis, effective August 24th. And Terry McElrath, Childersburg High Special Education Instructional Assistant and Bus Assistant, effective August 28th. And Kevin Pitts, science teacher at Munford High, effective September 3rd. An Anniston Army Depot worker still has his job supervising the federal inmates he allegedly gave contraband to in the past year, according to a depot spokesperson. A federal grand jury Wednesday indicted Mark David Thornton, age 55, on 18 counts in U.S. District Court. Clester Burdell, spokesperson for the depot, said yesterday that Thornton still has his job helping oversee inmates who work on the facility's grounds. He said Mr. Thornton is still employed and the matter is still under investigation. Burdell said the depot participates in the Public Work program with the Federal Correctional Institution in Talladega. The program allows 10 nonviolent minimum security inmates to provide daily groundskeeping services at the depot. Now, the first 15 counts of the indictment charged Thornton with bribery for accepting money from inmates at the prison in exchange for providing them with contraband between March 2014 and May of 2015. Further counts charged Thornton with providing a cell phone to one inmate, providing or attempting to provide T-shirts, protein powder, and cigarettes to prisoners. Representatives of the Alabama NAACP, the U.S. Department of Justice, the Talladega County DA's office, Talladega Police, and members of the community at large met together in Talladega last night at the Family Life Center on Battle Street to ask questions, air grievances, and look at ways to improve communications in the future. Many questions, particularly regarding the Talladega Police Department's use of the dog Andor, had to remain unanswered because there is still an ongoing investigation into cases where people were attacked. in general. Talladega Police Chief Jason Busby deferred to DA Steve Giddens, while Giddens said he was not in a position to discuss the cases until the investigation were complete. Mildred I. Dupree DeRobles, a specialist with the Department's Justice Community Relations Service, said last night's meeting was a first step toward courageous conversation.